All right, I will call this meeting to order. The Township of Ocean Environmental Commission, April 3rd meeting, called to order.
He's not listening.
Roll. Statement of compliance with open public meeting law. This notice requirements of the open public meeting law for this meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press and the Coaster, posted in Town Hall, and filed in the office of the Township Clerk, 28th, 2024. Roll call. Chairperson Valenti, that's me. Members Colton.
Here.
Member Gaudette. Member Janetti. Member Lutz.
Here.
Member Brannon.
Here.
Member Mammy. Alternate Zephilia. Alternate Baxi. Mr. Councilman Weinstein.
Here.
All righty. Welcome. Do we have any swearing in to do? Minutes for approval. Let's review the March 6, 2025 meeting minutes. If all looks good, can someone make a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Can he do that?
No.
No.
So try.
I feel like
Appreciate that.
when somebody sneezed, no one took
I
a
was
bless.
saying,
It was
but I
like,
wasn't at.
He didn't say.
I was at the meeting.
He only asked if he
Oh,
could.
okay.
I think Norm's gonna have to move.
And then I will second.
Right. I'll move that these minutes be approved.
All right, great. We don't have any.
No second? You
I second, yeah.
Anyone voting? Was anyone here that could vote?
I don't believe so. We don't have any presentations for this evening, so that jumps us to old business. EC website, Jack Mammy with an update. Unfortunately, he's not here. Storm water ordinance, Ed and Jack. Without them, we will move on to the Brookside project. Mary, do you have an update for us?
Wait, you didn't say. You can't hurry.
Talking to me?
I didn't because she's an associate.
Yes.
Okay, no, I don't. I don't have an update, and I am so swamped with the family issues. I don't know when I'm going to be able to continue with it. I'm sorry.
Okay, Mary, thank you. I hope everything's okay.
Just a lot is going on that I have to deal with legally and in a lot of ways.
Okay, thank you.
what is the Brookside project?
Mary,
Are you
we
still
have,
talking?
we have Councilman Weinstein here. Would you give him a brief because I'm not sure. Is this your second meeting as liaison?
Yeah.
So would you please brief him on the Brookside project?
Are you still talking to me?
Yes. Will you
Okay.
just give
Project was put on hold because one of the families that their house faces onto the pond said that before anything was done, the pond should be cleaned up and taken care of because that's the town's job. The town agreed to do it. That was, I think, 2 years ago, and we're still waiting for them. I believe Ed said at our last meeting that it's a matter of budgeting and we're not the top priority. So I said at the last meeting that perhaps we could look at doing some gardens across the street because that was going to be the second part of the project. But I would have to just call around and try to find out if the garden club or any other group was willing to work on that garden, those two gardens, and I have not been able to do that yet.
So there are two aspects to this. One is Snell's Pond. Isn't it Snell's Pond?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, the two gardens that no, actually one of the gardens backed on Snell Pond and then the one across the street back on the brook, Poplar Brook.
Monmouth. And it needs to be dredged.
Yeah.
And then I think Blue Acres bought some of the properties.
They did.
And
Yes, and I think these are the 4 lots that eventually would be turned into gardens.
and they have a design for the gardens for Rutgers.
Rutgers did design the gardens, but there were people who wanted to make some changes to those designs. And I don't think Rutgers is going to redo them.
But we can't do the gardens until the pond is dredged.
That's right. And the
Wait.
pond won't be drenched until the town finds the money to do it.
Thank you, Mary. So hopefully we'll have an update on that one resident that they're trying to track down, because then we can continue with the plan to dredge. Okay. Community energy plan, that's also Ed. Unfortunately, he is not in. Last month, we did not have an update on that. So maybe in the May meeting, he'll have something to share.
There were supposed to be some meetings about that, and Jack Mamie and I were supposed to be invited to them.
Yes.
I never heard anything about them.
Okay. No date was planned. You two volunteered as from the EC. Okay, well, hopefully something will come about that. Next order of business, old business, is the recycling contest. So we sent the flyers out. We started it on St. Patrick's Day, the 17th. Actually, that was our preferred start date. I think it went out on the 18th. We needed one more sign off from Manager Brown, which we got. So that is being circulated throughout town. I could share the form with all you if you need it to, if you have a specific network where you could post it to, get as many students involved as possible. Ed would also be the best to update on if we have any current signups for that. So hopefully in the next meeting, it ends April 22nd, Earth Day. So maybe we can give Donna, we can give maybe a mid-month update to everyone because next time we see you, it'll be post-submission. Okay. All right, new business. Norm, any updates on pending plans?
No, I haven't seen any new plans. I asked,
Nicole.
yeah, she said, there's nothing really happening right now. I'm surprised at that,
We did have nothing on the planning board last meeting. We just signed a resolution, so it has been rather quiet.
It's been quiet, well,
Yeah.
as far as anything happening, so
Okay. Johnny, can we backtrack to now that Jack's here?
Yeah.
Hi, Jack.
I didn't know you were leading today.
Yes.
Surprise.
Oh, hope a good surprise. Since you're here, would you like to update us on the EC website?
There's no update on the EC website.
No update. Anything on the stormwater ordinance?
No.
No. Okay.
Just on the
Have
EC
you heard
website.
anything about the community
Something
energy
that happened
plan?
with that?
Remember you and
I
I
don't know what the
volunteered?
discussion
Yeah, not since last meeting.
Jack, for the EC website, is that just us pulling the trigger on going forward with having one?
No, that was updating the Environmental Commission webpage on the town's site.
Okay.
And now that the town has refreshed the whole website, we just have to put together some sort of copy or promotional materials, whatever we want to put on our section,
Okay.
and then it has to get approved. And
But there is
Are you waiting
space.
for somebody to write a copy, or are you,
There is.
is that what you're waiting for? Somebody to write a copy?
I'm just waiting for, we have to put it together.
Okay.
But Don, there's a page designated.
Yes.
There is material on it now, even though it might be
Yes.
outdated.
I believe Ed had the emergency number to DEP on there and information regarding the dumps with all the issues there. You can pretty much put a blurb there, anything. Links, information.
The reason we have it is mostly to remind ourselves, oh, we have the website if we have anything we want to put there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much an action item that needs to be completed, it's just a recurring thing that constantly needs attention.
Okay.
So like the contest though could be posted there.
Yeah.
That and maybe Green Fest?
Yeah.
Okay, that would be a great opportunity. Do we know if, when you go onto the township website, it'll automatically give you that box on like what's current? Do we know if we could control it during this time
You would have
window?
to speak to Tracy.
Okay,
I think it's based on what's in the calendar.
Yeah.
So I know Greenfest is in the calendar.
Oh, so it will pop up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So maybe we'll talk to her about getting the contest on there if we haven't already. And then we're going to backtrack again a little bit. Do you have anything to add? We talked about the recycling contest. It went live on the 18th, and the deadline is the 22nd.
I don't have anything to add on that.
Okay.
Keep it simple today.
We'll fast forward to planning zoning board report. Ed's not here for the planning board. I sit on the planning board, so I can say we just signed a resolution for the fisherman's source, which we discussed in last meeting about how they went in front of the board to add a retaining wall. The notes are on the minutes we approved for that.
Where's
And
that
Wasn't that just a change?
The
Between the whole-
they're expanding it and putting in a retaining, yes. That is up in the industrial park, right up Sunset Avenue.
It's on the corner of Brielle and Sunset, the northwest corner.
Okay, all right.
Green team report, sustainable Jersey update.
Greenfest planning is underway. May 4th, as you know, is the date. Traditionally, the Environmental Commission has given us some money towards Greenfest, and we're respectfully going to ask for that again.
Okay.
I think in the past it's been 500. I'm not sure what the budget looks like this year.
Okay, well, by the time
This would
we
be a
have the
meeting,
next
so
meeting, Greenfest will already have happened.
Yep.
So are we to vote on supporting Greenfest? Do we know what number, Donna, that we have allowable?
Don't.
Okay,
I would have to speak to Ricky
okay.
in finance.
Jack, how much money, you're going to wait to find out how much we need so you can go a dollar under? Is that it? Like the price is right or something? Or, but you want to come up with a number, we can vote on it.
So the number I would request compared to previous years is at least 400. 500 would be more comfortable, but I think 500 with what Ed said last meeting was running a little tight with the budget, so
Yeah,
I would consider paring it down to 400 or 450.
can we take a vote tonight, Donna, to
Yes.
approve $400?
1, 2, 3.
Or does the monetary number have to be?
We can vote
No,
up to
we can vote
expenditure
for
of up to.
Okay, well,
Up
up
to-
to vote up to $400.
Yes.
Someone want a
With a roll
motion?
call vote.
Well, then, he said he's begging for more than that, so.
450?
I'm just saying. I've seen Jack, he's a spendthrift if there ever was one, but I'm willing to move that we approve up to $450.
I'll second that.
450,
Okay.
roll call.
So I'm gonna second that.
I did.
Yes.
Good.
Member Colton, member
Okay.
Lutz,
Yes.
member Brannon,
Yes.
member Mammy,
Maybe. Yes.
and I agree, yes. All in favor? Aye.
You just did.
Oh, okay.
Just double checking that.
Now it's 900.
Don't ask me again. I could be changing my mind.
So next order, Lollipop Pond Committee report. Ed, again, not here. We are having a deal like cleanup this Saturday from 9 to 11. There are a few points of meetups. One specifically for Lollipop Pond is we meet in the Winnemassa Firehouse parking lot. We target Lollipop Pond specifically, as well as North Winnemassa Drive, which is that canal, between Interlaken and Winnemassa. So if anyone's available, please join us. We supply everything, booties, gloves,
When is that again?
Saturday, the 5th,
Saturday the 5th.
from 9 to 11. Hope to see you guys there. I know that we discussed how we're waiting. We have wood chips on Chestnut Avenue to be laid around the trail at Lollipop Pond, and we're still waiting on a few things to be tightened up through the town to get permission to spread them. So hopefully that update will be coming soon. committee leader remarks. Is that me?
I think so.
What?
It all depends if you have something specific to talk about.
Okay. I know the styrofoam issue, we hit on that a lot last month. I don't know if there's been any.
Yeah, we came up with myself, Dave Fisher, and the engineers, and were you on that call?
No.
Oh, and Dave Brown were on the call, and I think what we agreed on was that when we find out that somebody's doing construction that involves these materials, right, that they are going to be given best practices and what they're supposed to be doing, and then we're going to be governing it tightly to make sure that they're doing it the right way. And so we're going to do inspections of it, and doing those kind of things. In the research, I guess Dave researched it and Greg Flash researched it. And we're doing what many of the other townships do, which is best practices as opposed to having an ordinance which could be construed as maybe burdensome to people who do comply. We're just going to force people to comply. So we can't do anything about the original problem that brought this up. But going forward, we're going to be monitoring and governing it tightly.
How are we gonna monitor that?
When we find out that somebody's doing it, we're going to make sure we go and inspect it and
So,
check it out.
so we'll be looking at the plans when they come in. They have to have that in the plans, what they're gonna have.
They're going to get the best
And then
practice.
is that Vakina who's gonna be monitoring them?
They're out of my realm now.
But of course, you don't wanna have any finger pointing later that, oh, I thought they were gonna do it.
Yeah, dude, have to talk to Greg or whoever is the group that does that. All I know is what we came as an agreement of what we were going to be doing.
Put the plan in action and hopefully.
Yeah, it's worked with other towns. From what we understand, yeah. We can't do anything what happened, but we can do kind of going forward.
Okay. Another matter that came up was a resident sent in regarding gas-powered leaf blowers. Supposedly in Spring Lake, they had passed an ordinance on banning gas-powered leaf blowers, not just because they're not good for the environment, not good for our health, and the noise pollution involved with that. So I was sent a PowerPoint pretty much on Spring Lake's plan for that. And, obviously I only know gas powered leaf blowers, so there are alternatives electric. So that was basically the plan, is to enforce everyone using electric leaf blowers. So just a suggestion from one resident. There are a lot of good points were included in that. Was I the only one that was sent that? Yeah. Are we able to share it with everyone to review? Yes.
Send it to me.
Yes.
And I'll send it to everybody.
Yeah, just so you guys can see, a lot of good points. I do just, obviously we lead by example. So to enforce residents to only use electric, I think we'd have to start at a higher level with maybe our own DPW using them to snowball into everyone.
I haven't researched them, but I know there's electric everything,
Mm-hmm.
but
And so
they can be pretty pricey.
And they can be very noisy.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's,
I don't know what the noise level are. I know that even the electric leaf blowers are pretty
yeah,
noisy.
it all depends on the orifice and all I'm saying is I don't know yet that it's, I'd like to hear how it's going in Spring Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've actually passed this ordinance, or are they still thinking about passing it? Is this something they're thinking about passing, or they've actually passed it?
No, I believe they passed this ordinance.
So I'd be curious to hear.
Spring Lake's also, we're very different in size, and I think.
And there's different, and there's also backpack leaf blowers. And there's the leaf blower that I happen to have an electric leaf blower, okay?
That plugs
I
in.
plug it in.
Yeah, I see them with the cord.
It's very noisy. I'm not sure it's less noisy than the gas-powered one, except that I'll be using it much longer.
I thought when I first got this email, it was about timing of leaf blowers, because ironically that morning at 7 a.m., I thought I was going to enjoy quiet.
That makes more sense.
That's-
There's some towns that you can't use.
There's a time
Well, it turns out that
moratorium.
deal, okay?
Mhm.
Deal, you can't use anything that's powered. And I don't know if they mean, even electric possibly, on a Sunday now.
Yeah.
Then pretty soon it'll be
Interlinken's the
Saturday
same.
and Sunday, and then once Memorial Day hits, or approximately Memorial Day, you can't use it ever. I looked at their ordinance.
Yeah.
You know, so that's more likely to keep it, you know, not so early in the morning,
Mhm.
you know? But, I mean, I'm just not so sure that just mandating electric is gonna solve any problem. It could make it more expensive, like it's.
I think regulating the noise is probably more.
You could put a tariff on leaf blowers.
Yeah.
There will be, you can be sure. But
You know-
we should at least look at the presentation.
Yeah,
and see what
absolutely.
they
It's very
do.
interesting. You know, a point I loved was the old rake your leaves. You know, the good old days when you'd pull them on the tarp and pull it to the
Yep.
street and, you know, jump in leaf piles. Unfortunately, we don't see that happening too much anymore. So it was a good presentation though. It's definitely worth,
Well, I'd
you
like
know.
to see you jump into a leaf pile.
I would love that. Just not on the side of a road, in the middle of a big backyard, happy to.
The deal that over on Joe Player Park, they can create some gigantic leaf puzzle.
Attendee remarks.
I would like to bring up trees. You know, it's been over a year since we introduced, the township passed a tree ordinance for residential. And the idea was that there was a scale for replacement of trees, starting at, what was it, $750, and then the larger the tree that went up. And we always said we were gonna see how that worked and then try to go into the commercial ordinance, whatever it's called, the development ordinance, and have the same scale apply to, commercial developers. We've never done that, and right now, if a developer of a commercial property removes a tree, they can pay into the tree fund of only $350, which doesn't nearly cover the cost of
Well,
the tree.
there are two aspects of this. The first aspect is, which I asked for, I've been told, I came to the council one time, they had a work session, you know, say, just move it up to $750. Forget about the whole scale yet. Just change the 350
Yeah, just
to
the one number, right.
to 750. It's 750. 350 is 750, right? I think that's what it is. 350 to 750. Just change that. What does it amount to? It means how many trees, we just heard about a property that was gonna have, how many trees it built?
300.
300. Okay, 300 trees times $400, okay, is,
$120,000.
hmm,
We said it was the same.
right?
$120,000.
It's $12,000, right?
No, it's
Was it $120,000? $120,000 that the town is not getting into a shade tree fund that's down to who knows how many few $1,000s it's down to now. That's just, so meanwhile, the homeowners are being forced to pay more than a commercial developer if they cut down, if they're not gonna replace a tree.
So what are we?
That's not right to the townspeople.
Where was this left? Where is it?
Well, it's a council, the council has to make the change.
So should we go to a council work session and discuss this perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, is this been, you say this has been brought up? True?
Well, I know the council, was there, I was at a meeting when Margie was here and Dave was there and the township attorney was at that meeting, I forget what the meeting was about.
Okay, but it's been a while since
Yes,
it's been brought up.
Yeah.
All right, so at this meeting, I'll bring it up and I'll say, hey, you know, we have an ordinance, we have is it an ordinance or a policy or was it?
No, it's the actual ordinance.
An ordinance, right.
It's in the.
Okay, so we have basically, it's
For homeowners.
for homeowners that we want to move it to $750 a tree.
Just like the homeowners.
Just.
Homeowners.
Homeowners.
Homeowners, we want to make the commercial one.
Commercial.
Exactly.
Commercial
Just have
ones,
some fear.
Okay. Yeah, I'll bring it up.
Just have them match.
But Jay Higgins was saying when that first went into 350, the idea was to make a number that would cost at least as much, you know, or not even as much as you could replace a tree for.
I mean, Julie, you want to just send me a quick email?
Yeah,
What you want me to
Now
say?
Now they
Yeah.
know, even the 750 is less than you can replace a tree for.
Yeah.
And the next council meeting is
The 10th.
the 10th. Okay, next
Yeah.
next
Yeah,
Thursday.
if you give it to
I'll
me.
send you an email,
I'll
but
bring it
do you
up.
want to go to the workshop meeting? I like attending, but
Yeah, I can probably go.
Yeah, when I bring it up, you can, I'll bring it up and you guys can
Yeah.
bring it up and support it.
okay, great.
Because you have to be there for the
Yeah,
presentation.
Yeah,
Kids.
so we might as well go to the workshop too. Awesome. Okay, I'll send you an email though,
Okay.
regardless.
The presentation for the kids is the one from the video one.
Yeah,
The video, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so now we're all ready to
Yeah.
present.
The survey,
Well, the PSA.
the PSA.
Yeah, and then with that, the survey.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, look nice. Yeah, look nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Do we have any public comments?
We're not done with remarks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I do
Anyone
want
else?
to say, the thing I will do though is,
Sorry.
when you send it to me before the meeting, I'll talk to Dave,
Yeah,
so Dave knows what's going on.
okay.
And just get his thoughts on it so he's prepared for it.
Yeah, I don't know if we
Yeah, I've
necessarily
spoken
need to
to
be
Dave
put on the
many
agenda of
times.
the workshop.
Right,
We'll
right.
just say public comment
Just
and,
be there.
yeah.
I remember when I did it, I told him a number that would add up to about 250,000. I should have told him 4,000 trees. It's up to $1 million. Whatever the numbers.
Okay, cool.
Anyone else?
I was gonna blather on about Greenfest a little more.
Yes, please.
I have to send Donna updated flyers for everybody to promote the event within your circles. Any place you go shopping regularly, if they want to hang it in the window, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So
Update us again on the vendors. I know you said we're also promoting small businesses, but you can't have food?
we can have food, but the vendors have to pay. The vendor fee for a food-related business is higher, and they also have to go to Donna to get a permit.
Yes, it's $10.
Okay.
$10 to have, if they want to sell at any special event in town, it's $10. They need to come and, there's an
Yeah.
application they can pull off of the website, bring that in with a $10 check or money order. I don't take cash. And they'll get a permit right away.
Okay.
But it needs to be at least 3 days prior to the event, because if they have fire, say like if it's a food truck, they need to be inspected by the
Fire department.
fire department, and the health department has to be aware of it as well.
Yeah, so we have, I'm closing vendor applications a week before Greenfest, so
Okay.
that hopefully everyone will be
Okay.
in by then.
So we had a call the other day about it, right? It was, you, me, and,
Tim.
Tim. And so one thing that I think would be valuable if we had a list of who you're already kind of contacting, so we don't, remember we.
Yeah, we don't double cross.
Double cross, right? So if there was a way you give us a list of everybody that you're contacting.
Yeah.
Send you a list of that too.
But I think it's probably, everybody, right?
Yeah, like in my head, I know of a mobile coffee cart, but we don't want 5 different coffee,
I don't know of any coffee
at this
carts on the
moment.
list.
Okay, but that would be fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Well, I think just on the, how many, you had 25? 25 last year, 40? How many did you have?
I believe we have about 25 to 30 vendors last
Last
year.
year, yeah. So I think the thing we were doing, you were making sure to contact those people.
Yep.
And so I think we just want to make sure who those people were, so we don't contact them when you're trying to.
Right.
contact them.
Yeah.
Right, and then, yeah, how did that, when somebody does sign up, do we have a list of?
Yeah, do we have a Google Doc or a
Mhm.
running?
Yeah.
Yes, I have a running spreadsheet on like a Google Doc.
Okay. Could you share it with people, or
Yeah.
did you want to share it with people?
So
How are we doing with the numbers now?
we have 3 confirmed
Okay.
vendors.
And
All coffee vendors.
and Monmouth Park comes back every year, or was that last year the first time? The park system.
That was the first year
That was a good ad,
I want to get more vendors like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get League of Conservation voters,
Mhm.
Monmouth Conservation Foundation, all these kind of environmentally focused
We want to get the schools. To
Yeah.
Now you want to get the schools, right? So you don't feel like you're late. Because a lot of people sign up like a couple of weeks ahead of
Yeah, I
time.
know. Yeah,
So
like a lot of people, like last year signed up like mid-April or end of April.
I think they just probably have to be aware of it.
Yeah.
And is there a maximum that we can have? Like, is there some number? This is not going to be in the. This is by the library or by the.
No, now this is in the park,
Which part?
the Joe Pavilion.
By the
Oh, it's
grandstand.
Oh, it's going to be by the
It's
grandstand.
gonna be by the,
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
by the band shell.
And you MC it. Who's usually on the, or is someone not usually up there? Because it's been
No.
a year lapse since we've been at that location.
So nobody really MCs, but I have gotten musical acts to perform in the band shell.
That's great.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right, good.
And it's also, the 5K is happening that morning as well.
Yeah, so hopefully, because we're coordinating with Tim on the 5K and putting it all in the same location where the race starts and ends, then the idea is as people are stopping the race, they can go and check out Greenfest and all the things that are happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So minimum 25 is the number, right?
Vendors?
Minimum 25.
Yeah. Want to keep growing it.
Okay, cool.
Any other?
One thing, I don't know, it was a while ago, we had somebody come in and talk about the plastic utensils at the restaurant.
Yes,
Did that ever go
Nancy,
anywhere?
you're like,
I
I'm
just thought
not
it was a great
sure.
idea.
Yeah.
I see my kids were taking out all the time, and it's just so wasteful. I'm sure they don't only get their stuff from Ocean Township restaurants. but
Yeah.
still, It just seemed like overkill.
Yeah. I do notice places all have been asking me, if I want utensils, which is basically what we want them to do, not just, throw it in the bag and assume that you're going to use it. So, Nancy, I'm sure we voted her in last month as an associate member, so I'm
Okay.
sure she'll be returning for
Right,
next month's meeting.
What's wrong with putting something, I'm not sure what it would say, on the environmental commission's actual our webpage is not, but on the town's webpage, you're saying the environmental commission recommends that you not, when you take takeout, that you do not take plasticware unless you need it, and let the vendor know that you would like them to not pack it, something like that.
Yeah, unless requested.
As an environmental commission bulletin.
Yeah, that would be a
That's
cute
fine.
blurb on our, homepage of the EC
Yeah, but
website.
right now, but the one's looking at it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying where or how, or maybe ask, it gets too wordy, something like, to put up on the sign that it's flagged.
Yeah.
You want to cause a traffic.
Say no to plastic
I like
goods.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
But-
show like a
but
fork
there
and a
should be
spoon.
some way, as a matter of fact, maybe Tracy hasn't finished the new.
Oh, that would be a great thing to put in
Let's
the
just say it's come to.
Township of Ocean Environmental Commission and add,
Yeah.
and maybe every time we have a newsletter, we could put in a new recommendation that's environmentally friendly. It's a great idea.
Some way to get the word.
Get a logo
I'm
with a
gonna-
circle and a line through it and
Because people,
fork and a spoon.
people, when they go get people want the business is here, they said, look, Roger, you're spending money on this and we're just throwing it away.
Mhm.
But if you say, here's all the stuff, if you want it, take it. If you don't, it's not in your bag. Be aware it's not in your bag.
Yeah.
So I guess what you want is for people, for food establishments to say, if you need plastic forks, spoons, and knives, ask for them.
Yeah, by
Yes,
request
right.
only.
Yeah, that's
So
what.
I know this might be a little archaic, right? But we could just kind of take the next month and just just go to every.
Well, I think that's what Nancy was doing.
Just-
Yes,
and just-
yeah.
I just didn't know how far along she
Yeah.
got with it. That's what I was asking about. Because she was gonna, as far as I know, she was gonna go to every restaurant in Ocean Township.
I
Oh,
believe
yeah,
she's
that-
made
that
great
makes sense.
headway so far
Well,
on
so
it.
she'll be here at an upcoming meeting.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that first time that somebody goes to get a salad and doesn't have the fork.
And they call them back and yell at
Chances
them.
are they have 6 of
The
them
next thing
laying
you know,
around
Joe
somewhere.
Clark
in
sitting
their
on the
office.
bench eating a salad
Yeah.
like this.
Raise. Dollar.
Well, my second thing, I know we have the plastic film recycling, which I participate in, and it's wonderful. I mean, I feel that. But does anybody know, that's here for the long haul, or was that a
So it was a
trial?
pilot program for the first year, and now we are continuing with
We
it.
are.
Yes, and as I see on, remarks just on public forums, it's been pretty good. There's one or two people who I don't know if they're getting the trucks missing in their house or what, but for the most part, whoever is participating, right, you have no problem. But is it one Tuesday a
It's
month?
the last Monday, for me, it's the last Monday. of the
Yeah.
month.
I think
Okay.
it's for everybody.
Okay.
I think maybe the second month they missed my house, but it's been picked up every time since.
Okay, that's
Plastics.
great.
Yeah, I had 3 months worth, because it rained one time. The next time I forgot, but it still didn't take up much room.
See, mine does.
Went in the bucket. You have to
Well,
roll
you
it.
can, but I guess that was my other question, is there a better container to use? Because I know, like, I've had to put a little rock in there or something just to
Yeah.
keep it down, because I don't want
Weigh
it
it
to blow
down.
over the whole neighborhood. So-
Yeah.
But I don't know who's leading that
The
up.
trick is to pack them all into one bag.
Well, I've seen people do that, but I didn't want to waste plastic to recycle.
One of the bags you have is guaranteed. You ever
I
roll
can
them?
always use a
You
trash.
know how many, you know those
I
newspaper
do know
bags?
that, yeah.
A pile of newspaper bags this big, okay, which fit in here with room to spare. Get the air.
I hear you. I hear you.
I know you, I hear you talking, I know you're getting a lot of hot air.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were recommending like tops for them, but
Yes,
but
that would
just
be,
I guess the way because when it rains, then it fills up with water as well.
You can do it
So
sideways, the guy will see it,
yeah,
tip it over.
but you're not worried about the bags falling out?
Well, I'm packing, I have 2 bags.
maybe you could do a demo for us, the next meeting.
But if you put it sideways, the wind.
Anyway, I'm gonna pretend you're plastic, your name is plastic. I'm gonna show you how plastic.
He's threatening me, Don, I'll let that noted in the minutes.
Okay. Any public comments? No public comments?
Okay, I had to have one quick comment, unrelated to.
Yes.
In the Shade Commission, the community forestry grant,
Yes.
did you?
So I actually have
the grant?
the 9 pages because, as you know, Sage is not the most user friendly. So instead of, playing with all the tabs, I had screenshotted each page. There's 9 pages, printed it out so we can lay it out, fill in as much as you and I know possible. A majority of it, we don't know. I believe Tracy or Jesse will have a lot of the information we need. But yes, I have those papers, so we can go over that.
All right, give me a call sometime next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have a meeting on Thursday the 10th. So I did want to work on that over the next few days, just so I have an update.
This Passover's coming up, so I'm with my daughters for several days.
Okay, yeah.
We get that, what happens in the Shade Tree Commission, okay, we, Petty Crown
Mm-hmm.
had solicited, some proposals, we got 2 proposals, one of which looked better than the other, and we chose that proposal.
Great.
So we actually have a proposal
We're ready to go.
that we could go forward with. Now, we want to go forward with that anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to be careful, we don't want to, if you have to have the grant before you can spend the money
Mm-hmm.
or sign up for something, then we hold off.
Yeah.
We have to look at what the rules are.
Yeah.
The grant just says, if you've already done it, we'll still give you the money,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't be sure of that.
Yeah. I know it's just on a rolling basis and just apply. And so I'm sure
I should
us
be able to-
proceeding with,
I'll look for
this-
it, I'll try and find a name and call it the
Okay. Okay, and then we'll connect.
In general.
And get as
they
much
wanna give you
filled
the
out.
money and have the-
Yeah.
Trip over some.
Yeah. Okay. Any others?
Just, since Jack's here, on the sustainable jersey itself.
Yep.
Is that all up to date, or we have to do anything on that?
We're good for another 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got recertified last year, and that's good for 3. Obviously, we're gonna keep working and increasing our environmental achievements and our points under that system so that we can get a higher certification, but as far as having it recertified, that's not for another 2 years.
Great.
That was a good update. Sorry, I missed that when Could have jumped back to it.
So
Okay.
having sustainable Jersey allows us to apply for certain grants.
All right.
All right, if we have nothing else from anyone, does someone
Just
want?
to congratulate you on your new appointment. We
Thank
jumped right
you.
into business. But
Like we did in this
congratulations.
meeting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. Do we want to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, wait.
Who's second?
I'll second it, but I'm gonna say something.
Jack first, Norm second.
Okay.
Great, thank you, everyone.
Favor?
All in favor?
Bye.